What's up? I am back. This is my first video in over 2 years that's art related. This whole COVID thing's driving me a bit crazy, so I think I'm just itching to do something with my time now. I haven't been working that much. I mean, I've been working a lot, but not nearly as much as before. I got a bit of free time on my hands. So let's see, I'm trying to fire up this YouTube thing again. Let's see if I can get something going. But yeah, so that's what I'm doing. More YouTube videos, more frequently, hopefully. But the irony of it is my MobileStudio Pro broke. The battery expanded. It's a known issue. A lot of people have it. You've probably seen it online. The screen starts to lift off. It looks really nasty. But it's a known issue. I called Wacom up and I was really nervous because I've heard some horror stories about like customer service. That's all you hear when you go to like a Wacom forum. You're like, customer service is just absolutely terrible. They don't do anything. They don't know what they're talking about, or they just refuse to fix things. But I called them up and I said, look, my MobileStudio Pro, the battery's expanding. I've done some research. It's a known issue. You guys have acknowledged it. Wondering if I have to pay for it because my warranty was gone. I've had this thing for 3 years now. So and surprisingly, the guy on the other end was like, yes, we totally get it, man. We apologize for this inconvenience. It is a known issue. We will fix it for free. Like, that's amazing. I did not expect that. So yeah, they sent me a shipping label, slapped that on there, brought it to UPS, sent it out, and it's getting fixed. So let's cross our fingers. Let's see if it comes back in one piece. Anyway, so during this time I didn't have access to a drawing tablet. The other one I had was at work. I have a 16-inch Cintiq Pro, which is great. I probably don't use it enough there. I don't really like that model that much because they got rid of all the express keys around it, and I've become so dependent on it on my MobileStudio Pro that I find it a little cumbersome, to be honest. And I don't have the remote thingy that you can buy for Wacom, but because it's my work tablet. I don't know if they'd be willing to pay for it, but yeah, I don't like it. I don't like lack of buttons. It's just a solid flat screen. It's beautiful. I mean, the line work is amazing. It's 4K. Pressure sensitivity on the pen is the same thing, 8,000 plus pressure points of whatever you call it. But yeah, I needed one for home, but I didn't want to spend $3,000-$4,000 on a new tablet. My MobileStudio Pro back from repair, then I'd have two kind of things that do the exact same thing with the same specs. It's just one is tethered to my computer and one is not. Yeah. So, and I wanted a bigger screen. So if I was to go for the 22-inch, my God, I'd be broke. Like, it's just so crazy expensive. So, but I needed a tablet, and I tried the Huion, and I didn't like it at all. I know a lot of people love it and they swear by it, but I'm so used to this pen that I just couldn't get used to it. So it just left me with one option. It's just to get another Cintiq. But I didn't want to get the Cintiq Pro because I didn't want to spend that kind of money. So the next option was to kind of look for a cheaper one. So I started looking for a cheaper one. And the 24-inch was ridiculously big. I saw this thing in person and I'm like, there's no way that thing's gonna fit on my desk, even though it looks pretty sweet. So that one was out of the question. So I started really looking at the 22-inch HD Touch because I've become so dependent on the pinch zooming and panning around with my hands and stuff like that. So that was the only other option, and there's only one. It's just the 22-inch HD Touch Cintiq. It's a very specific model. I know they make a lot of models, but I was looking for that one specific model, and somebody online was selling it used for a ridiculously good price, and they were pretty close by to me. So I'm like, this is just meant to be. It's crazy how things turn out. So I called them up and I said, look, I'm really interested in this thing. I asked them a few questions about dead pixels and buttons and cosmetic damage and stuff like that, and they sent me pictures, and I went and picked it up and I brought it back, and I was still scared because the specs are considerably lower than my MobileStudio Pro, which is 4K, 8,000 pressure points. I sound like I'm saying some kung fu stuff when I say that, like pressure points. You got But no, it's like there's a proper way to say it. Points of pressure sensitivity. I don't know. PPS, whatever. But anyway, the 22 HD is only 1080p, and it's got just a little over 2,000 points of pressure sensitivity. I'm like, what the, like, those are huge differences, especially on the pen. Like, the 1080p scared me a little bit as well, but not as much as the pen. So I decided to buy it anyway because I got it for $900. That is ridiculous. Like, this, you can still buy this unit. It was released in 2015, which seems like a long time ago, but it really isn't that long ago. My MobileStudio Pro released 3 years ago, just to give you a scale of like how old things are. I purchased that in 2017, so a couple years from, it's not that bad, right? I got it. I went and picked it up. The lady was super nice. It was a lady, it wasn't a dude. Lady was super nice, and she told me the whole story. She bought this thing like 5 years ago, or was it 6? I don't know what it was. And used it for a year and put it in the closet, never touched it again because for whatever reason, I don't know. But when I got this thing, I'm like, this does not look like it's been used for a year. It looks like it's been used once, because the pen is brand new. Like, normally when you use something for a year, there's some kind of wear and tear, or like there's like at least some kind of handprint where it's smoother than the rest of the pen. But look at this thing. I mean, forget, like, just imagine that without dust and crap on it, right? It's mint condition. This is better. This is in better condition than my MobileStudio Pro pen, and indeed there are 0 scratches on it. I got lucky. I got super lucky. $900 online right now. Online right now it's, I think, retailing 2,000 USD, and I bought this 900 Canadian. You do the math. It's insane. What a great deal. I'm so happy. I had some time to kind of mess around with it. I'm talking a bit too much now. That's what happens when you get me, when I start. I just can't stop. But I'm going to do a quick ink over of an existing drawing just to kind of get a rough comparison to my MobileStudio Pro. And I'm going to tell you if it feels off or weird or not. I don't know. So I'm just gonna start up right now, and I'm gonna try to talk at the same time. We'll see how this goes. I'm not good at drawing and talking at the same time. I don't do my best work. So I'm just gonna use I normally use the G pen because I just love the feel of it. A lot of people hate it because it's really unforgiving, but my hand is very, very steady when it comes to these things. So I can handle it, but I'm not going to do that because for this thing, for this draw over, or for this piece, I want to use a darker pencil because it's softer, and I want to be able to potentially soften the lines so I can paint over it later on. So back to what I was getting at, I was really nervous about the pressure sensitivity, and when I got it, just doing a couple strokes, like just doing initial, just to test it out, surprisingly, I did not notice much of a difference at all. Going from 2,000 points of pressure to 8,000 did not feel much different to me at all, which may be surprising to you guys, and it may influence your buying habits later on. I'm telling you, there's not much difference, guys. It's just, there's a lot of talk, but I don't notice anything. Maybe if you were painting, you might notice it, but I do, like, my style relies heavily on very intricate fine lines, and if I don't notice the difference, then I don't think you guys will either. The other thing that I was really looking at is the resolution of the screen. Going from 4K to 1080p is also a huge jump, and a lot of reviewers online have been saying that it's a very big jump, and they notice it right away. They notice that 1080p is a lot softer than 4K. Well, technically it is, right? Especially if you play video games and you're sitting in front of your monitor, that 4K image just looks incredible compared to like a 1080p. But what I find is when I'm for drawing purposes, you'd think that it would make a huge difference, but even there, I do not see a difference at all. It's crazy because technically, you should be able to see a difference, but I don't see the difference. It's weird, and my eyes are pretty trained. Like, I don't know if people are just suffering from like a placebo effect or whatever like that. I don't want to throw shade at anybody, but from what I can tell, from my honest opinion, I don't see a difference, guys. And I don't know, it's very hard for me to explain, but I guess a good way to look at it is, if you look at your monitor that you have in front of you, it's probably a 1080p monitor. A lot of people don't have a 4K monitor unless you're like a pro gamer or you stream or whatever like that. But look at your monitor and look at it closely, like go right up to it, and you tell yourself, does it look blurry or soft? Right? If the answer is no, then there's your answer right there. A 1080p screen, while looking at it like this, is not soft. It just isn't. So that's exactly how the Cintiq 22HD will look like to you. So if you're worried about it being soft, just use your current monitor, if it's a good monitor, as the barometer for your tolerance for these kinds of things. And I'm drawing right now, and like as you can see, these lines are pretty accurate. I'm not experiencing any hitches at all. Now, the one regret that I do have, really, actually, is the drawing surface on this tablet is terrible. It's as glass, it's like plastic. It's like a plastic nib sliding on a plastic, like your window. That's what it feels like, and I couldn't stand it. So I bought a matte screen protector to place on top of it, and it is so much better. It's such a better experience, in a better drawing experience. Close that. So if that matters to you guys, if you guys are as bothered about it as I am, I'd recommend it. The only bad thing is, and this is a huge deal actually, because I bought this thing because of the touch as well. So I can do pinch zooming and panning with my hands. I have to disable touch. As soon as I put this matte screen protector on, it made it all wonky. It made the touch irresponsive. I don't know what happened there, but I still use touch. Like I can click it on, as you can see, and I can still rotate. And that's the only use that I have for it now. I really don't use it other than that. Like right now it's working fine, as you can see, but I'm putting a lot of pressure on my fingers. Whereas before, when I didn't have the matte screen protector on, I wouldn't have to put a lot of pressure on it at all. But now I just turn it off, and I rely on the quick keys to kind of just blow it up. And these touch strips on the back, I kind of mapped it to zoom, so it's not that bad. So I really don't. I miss it for like panning, like not panning, but rotating. But other than that, I'm just gonna have to live with it, because I can't live without the textured surface when I draw on it. Yeah, like I said before, the reason why I got this too is because of the touch. Let me turn this thing around. See, as you can see, I'm able to get some really nice lines with it. I'm probably not gonna finish this. I think you got the point. Like you can get some fine lines. Like look at that. That is super fine. So I just wanted to ink this just to show you guys of the line quality that you can get. It's great. Like I love this thing. I can't believe I got so lucky. And if you're on the fence about this at all, if you're looking for this specific unit, and you see it for a good price, and you're worried that it's not going to keep up with the newer tablets, don't be worried at all. I have one of the newer tablets, 4K, 8,000 points of pressure sensitivity, and this holds up just as well. So okay, I mean it's incredible. The drawing experience is phenomenal. The screen is bigger, the menus on the side are smaller, which is great. It gives you more of a drawing space here. It feels great to draw on a screen this big, coming from a screen like this small, where I'm having to like do this all the time, zoom in and out and in and out. With a screen this big, I can keep it to pretty much this size for most of the drawing. It's incredible. I love it. Okay, I'm gonna stop drawing. I want to show you some of the physical buttons that I was talking about. So this actually looks like the Huion, but this came out way before Huion. I think they copied this design, but I love these buttons. I mapped every single one of them out. They all do something different, and it's highly customizable. And on the back of this here is a touch strip that controls zooming in and out, and that's become super handy as well. Another reason why I like this over the newer models is the stand. It comes with this really sturdy stand. You really can't see it, but it's great because it hold on, let me point my camera down. I'm not going to edit any of this. I'm not going to edit that much because I don't have time. It comes, there's two flaps in the back that fold it back like this. And if you're one of these artists that like to draw, oh my god, my screen is just crushing it. It's just crushing my screen in the back. I don't want to break it. But if you're one of these artists that like to draw in a more like your papers on the table kind of thing, you could do that as well. You just hover above it like this. This feels great as well. This. Yeah, this feels great. And that's why I bought this. That's why I chose to get this over the existing newer Cintiq models. Oh my gosh, what is happening? Oh my god, what just happened there? Did I just break something? What just happened? Good god. Okay, it still works. I'm good. That would have been bad. Okay. So yeah. I couldn't live without the physical buttons, and I guess I shouldn't say I couldn't live without the stand. I was able to make the other stand work, the one at work, but it's nice to have this stand. So those are the two pluses that this unit would have over the newer models. And like I said before, the 4K doesn't really make a difference to me, and the pressure sensitivity of the pen doesn't make a difference to me either. And it sounds like I'm just making up excuses because I purchased this unit, and I don't. It sounds like I'm making up excuses, but I'm not. I have the MobileStudio Pro as well, as you guys know if you follow my channel, and I'm comparing it to that. And comparing it to that, I see very little differences. The drawing experience on this is amazing. The drawing experience on that is amazing. I'm happy I have both. I'm happy I didn't spend $2 billion on this unit. So if you're on the fence about buying an older version of the Cintiq, really look into the specs, the things that matter to you the most, and and go for it. Just do it. Like they've been making these things for years and years, and they've perfected it early on. So I'd highly recommend it. Okay, anyway, I can keep talking on and on and on about it, but if you guys have any questions, just leave comments on the bottom. I'll try to answer them as best as I can. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up. It really helps my channel out, and a follow would be even better. I would love that very much. Okay guys, until next time, I'll see you guys later. Hopefully sooner than later. Okay, bye.